All right, so I know you can't see my feet, so just try to listen to the cues as well. Let's go ahead and start with our bands here. I want to make sure your hands are shoulder or waist distance apart here. Stand in a Pilates stance with your heels together, toes slightly apart here. Start the arms low and lift the heels up and lower them down. So let's lift and lower, lift and lower. So right now we're starting with our calf raises here. We're going to be working on some balance for today as well as some core exercises. And we'll do 4 more here. Again, pay attention to your ankles. Make sure they're not rolling in or out. And if they are, don't go as high with your calf raise. Now hold the heels lifted, but just barely lifted off the ground. And then lift your hands in front of you. About shoulder distance apart here. Take a very soft bend in the elbow here and pulse the hands out. So again, right here, we're squeezing more from our shoulder blades, squeezing closer and closer together. We still have our heels lifted, just to help challenge the balance, work the calves a little bit more here. Again, initiate from the back, the shoulder blades, the shoulders. Okay, now hold that resistance, press the hands down and lift. Let's press and lift, press and lift. Now my camera may slow it down a little bit, but try to keep it slightly fast-paced here. Press and lift. 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. Hold it in front of the shoulders here. Stretch the arms to straight. Lower the heels down. Take your feet parallel now. So we're in a parallel stance. Just the right arm is going to pull out and back in. Pull out and back in. Of course, the whole time you're breathing. So keep that inhaling and exhaling going. The left arm, you want to try to keep as still as you possibly can. You're also drawing your stomach in and up. Switch, left arm goes out, back in, taking it out, and in. Of course, it doesn't really matter which side you start on, just try to do both sides to keep it even. 4 more. Shoulders stay relaxed, don't let them creep up. Good, 2 more. Last one. Going to hold the arms here. Both arms pull apart, your arms are straight here. Bend the knees a little bit. You're going to lift your heels up off the ground. Then from here, keep that resistance on the band. Now I'm going to lower the heels and lift. You can see my thighs doing the movement here, but as you notice, my head, my shoulders are not lifting and lowering. A little visitor. Good. So let's lift and lower. For 3 more. Good. And 2. Last one. And back to center. Relax the arms down. All right, so go back to that Pilates stance. So your heels are together, your toes are slightly apart here. This is over grandma.
This was a little too.
And I want you to go ahead and take your palms facing forward. No, mommy needs this right now. Okay, you can watch or you can go with grandma. And then again, we're in that Pilates stance. Your hands pull apart slightly. And then bend your arms to a 90-degree bend. And pulse the arms out. Pressing out and out. For 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold that resistance out. And then from here, bend the knees, taking it to a plie position. We're going to lift the arms up and lower them down. So let's lift and lower. Now your palms can face each other. They can face the ceiling. So either way is okay. Lift and lower. For 4 more. Good. And 3. Last 2. Good. Last 1. And lower it down. So while we're doing these exercises, I will be doing the full range of motion, but you're always welcome, of course, to listen to your body. So if you need to, that's totally fine. Now go ahead and take your hands back to that parallel stance. Again, you're going to bend the knees, taking it to that plie position. You're in that Pilates stance here. Lift the hands in front of the shoulders here. Roll the heels up off of the ground here. Pull the hands apart here. Hold the hands there. And you're going to do little lifts up and down. Now it's small range of movement here. You're going down an inch, up an inch. Very, very small. But the whole time you maintain resistance on the band and your heels are a little lifted so that you're challenging your balance as well. Keep going here. We'll do it for 3 more seconds. 2. Last 1. Hold it here. And swing everything back up. All right, so I want to go ahead and take your hands behind you now. We're going to go to a little bit of tricep work. So try to keep your your hands really close together, your palms facing the ceiling. Then bend your knees for me, lift the arms up. You're hinging with a flat back here, so you should make sure that you're not sinking at the hips, so your tailbone sticking up. Then from there, pulse the hands out. So you're pressing your hands out nice and wide here. Pressing out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and taking a break. Now if that's too much for the band or it pulls into your elbows, go ahead and drop the band and don't use it. So we're going to do that one more time here. So bend the knees, hinge the hips, lift your arms up, pull out, 8, 7, 6. You can also do it with your palms facing forward. Good, last 3, 2, 1, and standing all the way up. Okay, we're going to put our band down for now and do a little bit more standing balance work. So stand parallel here. Hands can be in your hips, they can be out to the sides, whatever it takes to help you find your balance. Slide your right leg forward with a straight leg. Good, and then from there you're going to lift up as high and straight as you can. You're going to hold it there. Now keep very soft bend in the left knee. You're going to hold it still, you're going to flex the foot, and you're going to press the foot up. And you're going to pulse up for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, point and flex. Point and flex. We're going to do 4 more, then we'll lower that leg. 3, 2, last one, lowering it all the way down. Good. So I'll take you to the left side now. Again, you're parallel with the feet. You're going to slide that left foot forward here, lift it high and straight as you can, and from there you're going to lift up. You can have the foot flexed here as you pull it up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then point and flex. Point and flex. 4 more. Good. 3. Last 2. Last 1. Lower it all the way down. We're going to take the leg behind us now. Alright, so my leg will be much lower since it's going behind me. And that's because I don't want to extend my hips. So let's go ahead and take your hands to your hips now. Again, let's take it to a Pilates stance this time. So your heels together, toes are apart. Bend your knees a little bit and slide the right leg behind you. Then from here, I'm going to lift that right leg up. So again, my leg's pretty low here. That's because I don't want to go into hip extension. So keep it fairly low and your hips slightly tucked. Then from there, press the leg up. Now you want to be working from the base of the glute here. If you feel like your toes are starting to cramp up, it's because you're trying to compensate through the feet. Try to keep the toes relaxed. Hold that leg still here. Now try to hold your balance here. It's a lot harder to hold your balance in this position. Hold 3, 2, 1, and resting it down. So now we'll go to the other side. You're going to take the left foot behind you this time. Bend the right knee a little bit, and I'll lift the left foot, the leg up. Find your balance to begin with. Tuck the hips, then lift the left leg up. Again, form is very important, so try not to let that hip sink. And if you need to take a break whenever you need to. Hold that leg still and hold it 4, 3, 2, 1, and standing it all the way up. So we're going to go ahead and do one more standing exercise here. So I want to go ahead and take your feet a little wider than hip distance apart. And we're going to be going into a deeper squat in this position. I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. There, that should be easier for you to see my legs. All right, so we're going to take it to there, a deeper squat here. And I want you to work to lift the heels up and lower them down. And lift and lower. I know that light is kind of, it's erasing my leg, but I can't adjust the light any more than I have. Hold your heels lifted. They don't have to be high. Keep it where you can control it. And then bend the knees. If this bothers your knees, keep the heels down and come up a little higher and just hold it like this. Otherwise, hold for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the heels together and stand all the way up. Lock your feet together. We're going to take it to the floor now. All right. Okay, so let's take it like that. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and roll all the way onto your back. All right, so the most important thing for you to be able to see are my hips. So my head isn't as important here. All right, so we're going to be doing that little roll up and down, which I know we all love. So it doesn't matter where your hands are. For the sake of the video, I'm going to have my hands up. That way you can actually watch my hips. So go ahead and start by taking your legs to a tabletop position. Draw the stomach in, and then you're going to roll the hips up and roll them back down. So it should be pretty small here. You don't want your knees doing all the work here. So it's a little lift up and down. Lift and lower. Now, it's going to be easier if your hands are down because you can use your arms to assist you. But try not to rely on the arms here. Also, try not to let the shoulders roll forward as you lift the hips. It'll just make your abs work a lot harder to keep both shoulder blades down. Go ahead and take a break. And then open up your knees for me. So your legs are going to be in that diamond position. And your back that tabletop. So it's just a little bit different here. The knees are open. And again, you're going to roll up and back down. It's a lift up and back down. Now you can always have your knees closer into your chest if you start to feel it's pulling into your back. Good, so it's lift and back down. 4 more. Another thing you can do is take your palms up to the ceiling, and that will help you not rely on the hands. Good. Last time, and take a little break. Go ahead and just roll up into that bridge position, and then roll back down. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take both legs back to tabletop here, and we're going to be lowering and lifting the legs. All right, so I'm going to lower the legs and lift the legs back up. So inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. Now, if this starts to bother your back too much, just hold your legs at tabletop or go back to that hip lift. And you want to take your legs as low as that lower back stays glued. So if your lower back starts to lift up, or you can see my back starting to lift here, make sure it stays down and don't take your legs low. We're going to alternate, so the right leg will go and then the left. We call this marching. And we'll do 4 more. Good. And 3. Again, your toes do not have to touch the ground here, but that's the farthest that we can go. Last time. Good. And then relax the legs. Again, roll up into a bridge. This time, hold it in your bridge position. Just like squeezing your glutes to keep your hips lifted. And you're just going to squeeze the glutes and squeeze the glutes. Make sure your ankles are just either below the knees or just in front of the knees here. So you don't want them like this. Otherwise, that does put a lot of stress in the knees. It may help you get higher, but it's not going to be good for your knees. Now you want to keep the squeezes kind of go a little bit tight here. So it's squeeze, 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 contract, contract. And you're trying to keep a slight pace here. Now you won't be able to see much movement in my hips because I'm trying to find that deepest contraction and then I'm trying to squeeze or contract further from that point. So it's pretty deep at this point. It's not a bounce. Last 4, 3, 2, 1, and roll the hips all the way down. All right, so now let's go ahead and take the legs up to the ceiling here. We're just where I'm sitting again. All right. Okay, so we'll try it right here. Yeah. Okay, so I want you to go ahead and again, just start by lowering the legs and lifting the legs. Again, if this is too much, you can always go back to a tabletop movement or hold it here, or you can work on rolling the hips up. So there are lots of options here. But lower the legs and lift them back up. The key here is not to let that back arch or lift. So we're going to lower and lift. As far as the feet go, it doesn't matter if you're a Pilates stance or parallel. Either way is okay. Now I'm going to draw some circles here. I'm going to make really large circles so that you can see it in the video, but you can keep yours short. So you're going to take the legs down, circle out, and back up. Lower, open, and lift. Again, I'm taking mine pretty low. That way you can actually see it in the video what I'm doing. But you have to have a lot of control, and you have to keep your back down to go that low. So listen to your body. Let's reverse. Open the legs first. Lower the legs. Squeeze the legs and pull them back up. Inhale, open. Exhale, lower, squeeze, and lift. Open, lower, squeeze, and lift. You can add a little hip lift up as you roll down. So you roll your hips up, roll them down. And hide the knees into the chest. Just take a moment to rock side to side here. Allow the knees to fall off to one side as you rotate, reaching your arm in the opposite direction. You can always add extending this front leg if you like. Bring the legs back up, go the opposite way. Hold the knees off to one side and reach. Come back to center, and again, you can always hold that longer and just pause the video as well. From here, I want you to go ahead and we're going to go into our abs series. Let's go ahead and combine it with the band. So I'm going to grab my band. All right. So I'm going to be holding my band. I'm going to fold my band in half here. Again, you can always use like light weights or even cans of soup work, or a band or a towel work as well. So your hands are going to be out in front of you. You're going to pull your knees into your chest. You're going to take a little bit of resistance or pull your hands a little bit on the bands. Then from there, if you want to curl your head, your shoulders up. Now you don't have to here. If your neck starts to fall, but you're keeping your shoulders up, that's your sign to keep your head down. If your head is down, pull the chin down and keep it grounded. All right, so take your right leg out and inhale, exhale, switch. Inhale, exhale, switch. So you want to try to keep your shoulder blades off the ground, or your shoulders at least off the ground. If your head, your shoulders are lifted. Keep some resistance on your band and keep pressing the legs out for 3, 2, last one. Pull both knees in. Inhale, arms and legs go out. Exhale, pull it all in. Inhale, everything out. Exhale, back in. Again, only take your legs out as low as the lower back stays down. Abs stay engaged. 3 more here. 2. Last one. And then relax the head of your head is lifted. All right, so this time we're going to take our hands straight up to the ceiling, and you can't really see my band here, but I'm just pulling my hands apart a little bit. And I'm going to take my legs straight up as well, and I'm going to go ahead and go to our scissors, or scissor kick here. We're going to lower one leg down and then switch. Now this is something that can be done with the head and shoulders lifted. Notice that there is a bend in my knee here. That's because I don't have as much flexibility this morning, so just keep it as straight as you can here. I'm going to switch my leg. You can add a little pulse, 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 pulse. The trick here is try not to move the bottom leg. So it's not a pulse of both legs, it's just that closest leg to you. Good, 3 more. And 2. Last one. And relax. I want you to go ahead and take your feet together. So your feet are going to be together, ankles touching. Your toes are on the ground here. And you're going to open the knees apart a little bit. So you're in a diamond position. Tuck your hips and roll your hips up to your bridge. Now if that bothers you, take your feet back to parallel. But keep it as high and lifted as you can here. And then squeeze the glutes as tight as you can. Try to keep your big toes pressing on the carpet. And then squeeze the knees together and open the knees. So you're going to close and open. Close and open. Now as you're doing this here, what you want to watch is that your hips don't drop. So as I open, I don't want to sink my hips. Your hips stay very still the whole time. My knees don't actually touch. They just come close. Just the mechanics of my body, they don't touch. So it's okay if your inner thighs are not touching. You're just trying to get your inner thighs as close together as you can, as long as it feels okay on the knees. Hold the knees open here and just squeeze the glutes and hold that contraction there. Squeezing it a little bit tighter. Roll the hips down. Bring that right knee to the chest. Press that left foot out. Want that left thigh to gently press towards the ground here. You can use your band. I'm going to use my band here to assist in that calf stretch, hamstring stretch. And you're just pulling that right leg towards the face here. Then you can take that leg off to the side. And that's my alarm. That's time to start stretching. So looks like I'm on track here. Go both sides. Now switch sides for me. So now you're going to go to the left foot here. And again, you can always pause this and take a little bit more time. Hold that left foot in. Try to keep a straight leg here, but if you do need to take a little break, just bend the knee and then re-extend the leg. Take it off to one side. Remember, if it goes across the body, you want to keep your shoulder blades down, but your hip can lift. If it goes outside, make sure that your hips stay down. They're not lifting with you. And then we're going to work on rolling all the way up here. So I'm going to extend the legs out to straight, take the arms up to the ceiling. If you need to, use your hands to assist you. You're going to curl your head, your shoulders up, then inhale. And at the hardest part, you're going to exhale and really push through that challenge zone for you. So again, if you need to, you can always use your arms to assist you and even bend the knees. So you would pull one elbow down and carefully sit all the way up. All right, so let's finish with our legs straight out in front of us here. Sit as tall as you can. Walk the hands forward towards the toes. Gently round over, point the feet, and flex. We should be getting a deep stretch through the hamstring. It will also stretch your lower back here. And then if you really reach and round the scapula forward, it will also stretch your upper back as well. Come all the way back to a standing position here. I'm going to change again the view of the camera. There we go. All right, so we're going to finish standing here. You don't need your band, so you can just sit that aside. And we're going to finish with a balance exercise here. So to begin with, just go ahead and stand. I want you to just stand and close your eyes for me. So closing your eyes, just start to focus on the balance and the weight in the feet. Just try to see if one leg has more weight than the other. Try to find your balance. You don't have to close your eyes. It's always an option. Go ahead and open your eyes. You're going to take the right leg up. This is a really great exercise to do, and I'll do it kind of at a diagonal so you can see me better. Again, the knee can be in front of the hip. Just don't take it any higher, but it can always be lower as well. And I'll take it right here. Your hands can be by your sides, on your hips. Try to find your balance here. And then if you have it available, you can close your eyes, and this is where you really have to start focusing on your balance. You can also keep your eyes open as well. And then we'll switch. So just start by taking that left leg up. Look to find your balance here with the eyes open. And then if you want to add it as an option, then you close your eyes. There's always one side that's a little bit harder than the other. We're working a lot of ankle stability here as well. And then lower it down. So let's go ahead and finish with our standing roll down. Heels together, toes slightly apart. Round your head, neck, shoulders forward, and roll all the way down. A nice deep inhale. And exhale. If you need to, bend your knees a little bit and slowly round back up. And as you come all the way back up standing, you're going to go ahead and lift the arms up. And I want you to gently extend the spine here. Come back to center, lower the hands down. And then you are finished.